Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to right.
Howdy, howdy, Sudevil here, and welcome to Game 2 of our match versus Wyvern. We're playing the Dwarfs versus the Vampire Coast this time, and this is the build that I've recommended in my video of a build that I thought was really difficult to beat for the Vampire Coast, and I said it may be unbeatable, and Wyvern said I'll take that challenge, and we thought we'd play on a Vampire Coast map. Will be spending a lot of time in the water. Obviously Vampire Coast have aquatic units too, so this is the challenge of challenges for this build. We have 4 units of Dwarf Warriors out front. We do have Belagar Ironhammer. He does have a Silver Shield and no abilities. We have then 5 units of Dwarf Warriors with great weapons in the second line, and 5 units of Rangers for some range contingents, and 5 units of Slayers, which are going to be the back line. This is a tournament legal build, and again, the final recommendation of what I think the Dwarfs should play against the Vampire Coast. Now, what Wyvern has brought is fantastic. He has 4 units of Fellbats. He has 7 units of Vampire Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, including the Regiment around Tide of Skjold, and they are rowdy and have, a frenzy, and he brought 4, count them, 4 Necrofex Colossus, including the Gallows Giant, the Regiment of Renown, and he has Count Noctilus on a Necrofest Colossus. And Count Noctilus, for his skills, he has the Roth's Moondial for the Zombie Pirate Deckhand summons, which has got a 200-meter range. He has the Ray Storm, which is a magic spell. He has Arcane Conduit for the magic. He has Invocation of Nehek for the heals. He has Drown Dead for 6 summons of zombies. He has the Hunger for replenishing hit points. He has Smoke and Mirrors, which will make his units faster every time he casts, and the Curse of Undeath, which will heal everything every time he casts, and Abandoned Ship for when his hit points are less than 50%. He will summon a group of zombies. And the whole idea of this build is, well, you're going to see. So all I want to do is I want to take my units and start getting engaged. I do see these Fellbats, so I do want to engage my... I will change my engagement for my Rangers to shoot at the Fellbats. I just want to get up here. Oh, I'm going to press play. I just want to get up here and find the right engagement. He's got these Necrofest Colossus in front. I am going to want to bring my Slayers up there to deal with them. Now I'm going to leave some Slayers back because I know these zombies are landing, and I'm going to leave a couple Dwarf Warriors back, but I want to take some shots at these guys early and get those shots in, because if we can get these bats down, that's the faster we get them down, the sooner we're back online and shooting. And Rangers are really good at wiping out bats, and if we miss, we can hit some Zombie Pirate Deckhand mob. So he's up front. He's taking some shots with his Gallows Giant, with his Necrofest Colossus, and they're definitely doing some damage. Well, they're not so broken. So I'm just coming up here. I'm getting involved. I'm getting my Dwarf Warriors into the front line. I'm trying to get some shots with my Rangers. So you can see I want to leave some of my Slayers in the back line here, and try and make a decent backline with these guys, yet bring some Slayers up to deal with the Gallows Giants. And he is already bringing his Giants through his line so that my guys can't get him, and he has these Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. He's going to try and get my Slayers basically mucked up with them for free. So I'm going to try and bring these guys around, and I'm going to try and get a group through the center here. And now as these guys land, and he's got more Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs coming, I'm just got my Dwarf Warriors here. I'm just trying to get in the fight. I've got Dwarf Warriors here, and I've got some Slayers. I want to get rid of those bats as quick as I can, and then get everything else involved. So I got Dwarf Warriors coming up here. I have Slayers just waiting. Everything got mucked up with these Zombie Pirate Deckhands. This is the story of this battle. These are such a pain in the rear end because they just get in your way, and now he's just taking free shots around here. But I am going to get these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and these guys only have 30 melee defense, so they're going to do some work on them. It's it's not the best because they are in water, and when they're in water they have a debuff, but they're going to start getting some work done. And I'm going to start trying to get I'm going to try and get these guys up and around to get into these Necrofex Colossuses. But we are doing good, and I've got my Dwarf Warriors. I saw this coming, so I got my Dwarf Warriors up here, and I'm just trying to knock these Fellbats down. These guys can't do much to my Rangers, and we are getting them loose. got a summon over here, but we got ahead of it, and we've got our dwarf warriors out here. So back here is settled. We're good. We're fine. We've got this sort of settled. These guys are out, and now I can just start shooting. And now he's going to bring his Necrofex Colossus through here, now that I've got my guys around. And we've basically decimated his front line. And he's just going to push on through. He can walk wherever he wants with these damn things. They have 45 speed, and they are fundamentally unstoppable. So he says, okay, you have blocked up my units. I'm just going to come back here and kill these all one at a time. So I've got my Rangers firing, and now basically all of my units are back here. Now these Slayers, which I brought around on the wrong side, I was already panicking trying to get everything unit on unit. It is hard to control 20 units, and you know, I'm trying to get these guys already shooting into the right unit. So I've got them shooting on that Necrofex Colossus, and these Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs are not going to get past these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I do have some Slayers here, and I do have some Dwarf Warriors with great weapons here. So as soon as they get in, and I do see that, I'll get them fighting, but I'm trying to chase them down. He summoned a group of Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. This is just beautiful. Basically, all my units are stuck here, so I'm trying to go back here, get these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I'm trying to get my Slayers out, because I don't want them fighting. I want my Dwarf Warriors with great weapons fighting. And now I've got Slayers that have been caught up by the tide of skill. I want to get them out. So you can see he's just trying to muck those up, and now he's got his Necrofex Colossus right in the cookie jar fighting against my Rangers. And what is this going to do? Huh? That looks bad. Whatever it is, we'll see. Well, oh yeah, I guess. Well, it's not great. It's not terrible. But, I mean, I've got these guys. I've got Dwarf Warriors coming in here, so I've got these guys held back. But I just cannot stop these Necrofex Colossus. And they've got a lot of health. And they all have range, and they can all fire while on the move. So I'm trying to now I'm going to come back here at some point and realize I have got these Slayers out. And I'm just basically trying to sort out my units. I'm furiously trying to figure out where units are, putting them on my hotbar correctly, but he's pushing these guys out. He's got, come on. He's got these guys routing. These guys are running and coming back. And I've gotten Belagar. I wanted to get Belagar not fighting these Zombie Pirate Deckhand mods, but putting damage on the Necrofex Colossi. And I'm really trying to get these guys sorted out, but I'm going back and forth through this battle. Now I've got Dwarf Warriors, Dwarf Warriors, Dwarf Warriors, so I can get these on these. This now is all good. You know, I've got no Slayers left here. These Slayers are over here. I'm trying to get my Slayers around, and I'm trying to get Dwarf Warriors, Slayers. I'm trying to get Dwarf Warriors and Slayers all on the right thing. So he's now just going to chase these guys off, very patiently chase these guys off, and do another summon here to try and muck up these guys, and so he can get away with this Necrofex Colossus. I'm trying to put damage on him, and I do have some Slayers in here, Slayers and Slayers on Count Noctilus. I do have some Dwarf Warriors here. I do have some other Slayers here. This is really, really hard to control, and every time I'm fighting in the water, it's actually the absolute worst for me because I'm debuffed and he is obviously not. And so now he's just going to chase off these Rangers. He does not want them in the battle. He wants to make sure they're gone, so he's chased these guys off, and now he's just going to circle back and go after the rest of my Rangers. So I'm trying to make a second line with right here. So I've got these Rangers right here, and I'm going to have some other Rangers here. So I'm going to make a second line of defense sort of right here so I can try and get my Rangers so they can shoot into stuff from over here. And I've got everything cleared up. I've got everything cleared up here. I mean, just bodies everywhere. And I've got a second line here. I'm trying to sort out which units are where and where they're going. And yeah, I've got my Slayers here. I will just fight. If he wants to sit and fight with my Slayers, that's fine. I've got Slayers chasing off this guy. He's chasing that Ranger off, and he's shooting at my Slayers. Again, fine with me. I want to get my Slayers onto the right units, and then we will get these guys actually attacking the right units. We do have a Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. They are aquatic. Yeah, see, they're aquatic. They get, I don't know, I don't see any buff to their actual stats, but I know unbinding, summons degrade over time. It doesn't show what their stats are, but I do know they're aquatic. So I'm trying to get the right units on the right units. I'm now happy where these guys are. I'm going to send them into this Necrofex Colossus, and I've got some Slayers in here, so I figure, okay, I'm going to try and muck down this guy and get some shots in here. I've got Slayers going after this guy. I've got Slayers after this guy, and so I'm just going to keep my units up here where I want them, and then I'm going to try and get some shots in. So here we go. I'm going to start getting shots in again with these guys. I'm going to try and get into this Gallows Giant. if I could ever actually get that going. And here we go, summon zombie pirate deckhand mob. These are so good. They just keep getting in the way of everything. And now he's got, is this yeah, arcane conduits moving on him. So I'm trying to get some shots in, but I can't quite catch him. And now he's bringing everyone together. He's got more slayers. So now I'm just going to bring everyone across the water. I'm going to try and figure out who's going to attack who. And I've got these guys going after Noctilus. I should have stopped and gone after here. Now he's got a shot into our Dwarf Warriors Great Weapons. I do have Slayers going here, and these Slayers are stuck with these damn zombie pirates. So now I can actually take them. So here we go. We're going to start firing into this Gallows Giant and actually start getting some shots in. I do have Slayers here. I have Dwarf Warriors here. I can make a line kind of in front of these guys and get them start firing. But he's just going to, like, these guys are impossible to stop. He just said, oh, well, I'm just going to walk over there, I guess, and go ahead and kill these guys. And he's got the heal coming off. Yeah, Invocation and a Heck on this guy. He's got a lot of healing left. These guys are nowhere near their healing cap. So I push these guys over here. Now I'm actually trying to get my senses about me. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get these guys out. I'm trying to think, how do I organize my troops to deal with this? Because I cannot stop these guys. Wherever they go, they get in my way. I'm just trying to get my Slayers into the fight, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get some of my Dwarf Warriors actually together and back here, and I want to get my Dwarf Warriors, my regular Dwarf Warriors fighting the deckhand mobs, and my Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons fighting the Necrofex Colossi if I can. So right here we have Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons fighting this Gallows Giant, and he only has, well, he has 45 melee defense, but he has 75 armor, but they have armor piercing, so they at least can get something done when they're fighting him. Now he's running away, but his health is going. He is crumbling. He's got Invocation, and the Heck is trying to heal him. Oh, this is so ridiculous. How he just got that in time, and we got down to 1, and now he's gonna go and take away this Gallows Giant. This is so ridiculous. That Invocation Heck, now he's over 1,000 health. So you've got this guy, so I'm trying to get, okay, Slayers. I do not want Slayers fighting zombie pirate deckhand mobs. I'm still trying to sort out my entire army, trying to figure out who's fighting who. I do want Belegar fighting these guys at all times. Yeah, look at this guy, 1,200 hit points. And now he's like, okay, I'm going to take these guys, and I'm just chasing them off. I want to make sure there's no Rangers that can take shots. And now I'm, again, trying to chase. Now I've got my Slayers away. I want my Slayers fighting there, and there we go. I've got these Dwarf Warriors going after these deckhand mobs, and I will find, where's my other Dwarf Warriors? Right here. At some point, I'm going to send all my Dwarf Warriors as I chase this down. He's going to send these guys off. There we go. I'm going to send Dwarf Warriors Great Weapons to stop him because I don't want them fighting Slayers, but I'm going to sort of gather my Dwarf Warriors together to fight the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. I'm going to get my Slayers going after all these guys, and Belegar Ironhammer. You know, fighting in the water is definitely not the best for me because as a Dawi, when you're in the water, where's Belegar? It's not showing. Unfortunately, it's like an 80%, 20% reduction in your melee attack. It's really, really bad. So now I think I finally got this sorted. I've got this Ranger is going to be back online. I'm trying to get him into position. I do want him on the land, and we're getting these Dwarf Warriors off. And he's just chasing these Rangers off. Like he's just okay. Now he's decided he's going to chase them all the way off. But now we have we're going after these Necrofex Colossus. I'm trying to get the right units on the right units so that at least I can do some damage. Like the Dawi, I mean, these guys cause fear and terror, but I mean, Dwarfs have tons of leadership, and this is one of the great things about the Dwarfs. And I still have all 5 groups of Slayers, even though I think these Slayers have, what, 3 units? These guys have, what do these guys have? 1? That's absolutely crazy. That's the most beauty of Slayers, but we're trying to, now he's starting to crumble. This Necrofex Colossus is starting to crumble. This guy is now coming back, but he's got a ways to come back. So we're getting these Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons. He's shooting my Rangers. He's like, okay, I'm going to take the Rangers off one at a time. But we are definitely getting this guy to crumble. He's at 2,100. What is he at for health? He's at 1,900 health, and we got a good surround now. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with this guy? Okay, I want Slayers, Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons, and Dwarf Warriors. Now I'm going to take these Slayers and send them back this way. I'm just going to send these guys to get in the way to make it hard for him to actually do anything. Now he's got this guy, and he's trying to push him off, and this guy is really, really hurt. But I really want to finish this Gallows Giant off. So I've got my Dwarf Warriors, and the thing is, he can just outrun him. He has 51 speed. So here go my Dwarf Warriors trying to get in his way, and I've got Slayers trying to get in his way, but he's actually crumbling now, which is really good for me, and he has got Invocation and Heck, so he's actually healing this Necrofix Colossus, but he's not going to get away. He hasn't gotten caught, so he's going to turn around and get some shots in, but he's definitely still crumbling, and we've got Count Noctilus is trying to get away from Belegar, because Belegar wants to go in and kick the snot out of this guy, so Belegar's like, okay, I'm just going to go in and beat the crap out of him. These guys, are they going to get him? He's got 582 health left. He just runs away. It's fucking so insane. So Belegar's going to come in. I want to get this hit in. There you go, Belegar. This Necrofix Colossus is getting away. So we've got this one down finally. This guy is finally down. And now we have 2 more to get. This Count Noctilus is just about out of ammo. This Necrofix Colossus is out of ammo, and we still have a ton of Dwarfs. And Belegar is in very good health. So he's going to go and fight Count Noctilus. Count Noctilus takes his last shot. He's got Arcane Conduit, and then he punts Belegar and steps on him. That's a grudge, Count Noctilus, if I ever saw one. So he's going to get into the fray with everybody else and try and fight. I still have Slayers left because Slayers are awesome. Yeah, we have Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and here we go. This guy is getting ready to crumble. He is wavering. Count Noctilus, I don't know if he's got any more spells left in him, but we're just going to come in there and fight. We got Belegar in here. I'm trying to get get him onto something. Here we go, another goddamn zombie pirate deck end mob summon. It is so irritating. Alright, we've got these Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, and we do have Slayers. I am putting my Dwarf Warriors, I think, on these guys, and our Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I'm trying to pass through to get away from them so I can get after the Necrofix Colossi and just let my Dwarf Warriors and Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. There we go. That's exactly what I want. I just want Dwarf Warriors on them, and I'll get my other Dwarf Warriors to come. There we go. I get my other Dwarf Warriors to come and fight, and try and get my Dwarf Warriors with great weapons over here to fight the Necrofix Colossus and Count Noctilus, and they are starting to waver. They have minus leadership. We're getting these guys down, and yeah, they're really starting to crumble now. He's debilitated, and they're crumbling incredibly fast, and we're chasing them down. Here comes Belegar. Boom, gone. And the Necrofix Colossus not going to make it. Very, very fun fight in the water against 4 Necrofix Colossi, including Count Noctilus with, 7 total summons and Invocation and the Heck. Really, really fun fight. I think that was when we were chatting about this before, and I said, I think I have a build that's unbeatable, and he said, I'll take that challenge. So this is not a tournament legal build, but it's a build meant to test the Dowie, and it did a great job of it. I loved the build, and it was perfect. Something to shut down the Rangers, and then the Necrofix Colossi, 170, 94, 146, 136, like amazing stats. The Dowie are so resilient. I mean, he did get rid of my Rangers, but they got 24, 18, 32, 28. I mean, I don't think they got their value in terms of what they netted for themselves. Where they got their value is taking a unit worth 2,000 gold and getting him to chase off a unit of Rangers off the side of the map. And Belegar is still in fine health, and these guys 24, 127, 20, and 120. Basic Dwarf Warriors are good enough, and these Dwarf Warriors are great weapons. These are the piece of the puzzle that made this build really good. Like if you saw the first 2 builds I had with the Dowie versus the Vampire Coast, I didn't have any great weapons. I think I had a little bit in the very first one, not much, but these guys make it so that you can fight against Depth Guard, and they're good against monsters, including these Slayers. The Slayers are great, 97, 113, 33, 75, and 113. Now, I wasn't happy about having the Slayers getting stuck in Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs and all the summons, but they actually mow through them very well because these guys have no armor, which is just fine. So, I thought this was really fun. And these guys they got 11, 20, 14, 11, 4, 19, and 39. I mean, that's not bad for a unit that's 300. The Fellbats only got 0, 2, 8, and 3. Fellbats can struggle against the Dowie. I mean, I've played against Fellbats so many times, I know what to expect, and I was ready for them, and we were able to to defeat them. You know, the very first part, it was going reasonably well, but when Wyvern decided to take his 4 Necrofix Colossi and just stomp through my entire line and go kill all of my Rangers, that's when the game changed. I'm like, oh my god, he kept summoning right where I was chasing him down, which made it really, really difficult. It's so irritating because it's really hard to untangle your units from that crap. Like, you have to take them out backwards and then around, and you gotta be able to click on the right unit, and sometimes they're kind of in, and sometimes, like, it is really difficult to get out of that mess. So an absolutely really fun build from Wyvern in there. A great test for my build. I was very, very happy to play against a really strong build like this against a strong player on a map that had lots of water. I think that was something that I wanted to do to test this build out, to see how good it was going to do against the Vampire Coast, and a really fun match. And now, again, if you haven't gone to Wyvern's channel, go over there right now and subscribe, and he will have a different battle on his channel. We played 4 games. 2 of them are only going to be on his channel. 2 of them are only going to be on my channel. And then we played a 2v2, which we already aired. Again, he does tons of ladder battles. His explanations are so good. I always learn from him every time I watch his channel, and I absolutely love his channel. I would be so happy if you guys would go over and say hello and subscribe and help build his channel. It would make me very, very happy, because I enjoy his content. It's kind of like it's one of those things that is also a little bit selfish, because I really want him to flourish and do really well, because I enjoy watching his battles and the way he breaks down his fights. And we had a great time making this doing these matches. During this fight, I was just yelling at him, "Damn you, Wyvern!" It's like every time I thought I had him tracked down, he would get a summon and would just muck up my troops. And oh man, it was so fun. And oh man, the game against the Skaven, holy crap! That was a really, really tough game for me. I wanted to play with gyrocopters. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a really high micro build for me, which I'm not very good at micro, but I have a high micro build, and it's a really fun match. And the match against the High Elves was also really fun. It was a new build. Those are both new builds for me, and I thought they were really fun. So go over there, say hello. I hope you found this interesting. Look forward to your comments below. I always love your comments, and that's sort of the end of the test match versus Wyvern. Really, I just hope you found it interesting, and I will see you soon.